Hello and welcome to NotAVampyre, me reacting to I'm in Love with the Villainess episode 2. I did not read what the Japanese title is, so not doing that this week, I guess. I'm still not sure how I feel about the show. I did, on some level, enjoy episode 2. I mean, I was surprised when the episode ended. It did not feel like it was a full episode for some reason, and yet there I was. But that's not to say that I didn't have things to complain about. For instance, Rae definitely crossed the line into sexual harassment, and so that's great. I'm conflicted because I get the sense that there's going to be a lot for me to enjoy with this show going forward, and you just gotta get through the annoying, just for comedy bits, and unfortunately, they are very, very sexual harassy. That's not funny. It's not funny to see Rae oogling Claire's body while she's acting as her maid. That's not okay. I don't like this. But I guess something I did like was letting Rae and Claire have that moment of just sincerity, where Rae isn't declaring her love and just being as wacky as possible. Actually, there was a number of moments, of course the biggest one coming at the end, where Claire just straight up asks her, why? What is it that you apparently love about me? I love how she phrases it, like, I know myself well enough to know that I don't have a lovable personality. So what is it that you're after? What's your end goal here? Because obviously it can't be that I'm actually that lovable. Man, that scene is making me appreciate Claire and kind of love her too. I also really I was getting ready for Rae's wish, her demand from winning the bet, basically, to be something outrageous, basically the thing that gets her into the position as Claire's maid, but no. It ended up just her telling Claire that she has to pursue. She must persist even when it starts getting hard. On the one hand, suggesting that Rae knows that something's going to happen because she knows about the game and how things went, but then also that on some level, Rae does see Claire as a person, which makes all the sexual harassment stuff worse, but it does make her love for Claire feel a little deeper. I'm not sure how much of a person she sees Claire as. I'm kind of on the fence as to whether the idea that she doesn't actually view the characters as people yet. I don't know if that theory is completely out the water yet, but it's kind of leaning there. I do have to wonder what was up with that moment where Claire's all like, a commoner is a commoner, end of story. I don't have to treat them well. What exactly was her maid's reaction? Because this is someone who's basically been with Claire her whole life, and as Rae points out, is more like an older sister than a maid. How does she feel about it? What's going on there? Does Claire regret saying that? Does she realize what she said and to who? Very curious. I hope that comes back up later. I hope the show doesn't just drop that and leave it as is. I also like that the explanation for Rae holding back on her magic, it's not because, she wants to, hide how much magical ability she has. I mean, yes, that's part of the reason, but it's not, to avoid people, I guess, responding to it. It's more specifically, she doesn't want the first prince to respond to it. Basically, throw herself into his romance track. Because, she's here for Claire. She's not necessarily looking to be romanced by any of the three princes. I also love how she's completely missed, apparently, the second prince's dating flags. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad the episode, it wasn't a slog to get through. There were definitely a lot of moments that made it feel like, wow, this anime is not really meant for someone who isn't really, really into looking at basically naked female bodies or appreciating the female form in general. I mean, if you can't realistically do a beach episode, how about just have your characters in a bathhouse where they're literally naked? The show's just obviously not for my gaze, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to affect my viewing of the show going forward. Again, I'm still very troubled by how they express Rae's love for Claire, but I'm also excited to see it develop into something real. It seems like Claire's curious now about Rae, and to see how deep her love actually goes, and is she for real? We'll find out next time, I suppose. Thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time.